6,930 pounds, 28 rear living super slide J-Flight here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, a member of the best-selling series of RVs in history with the best warranty available in this class in history, with full 2 years of coverage plus a 3-year structural. Gives you that half-ton towability and peace of mind to have an awesome couples camper you can jet set around in or spend an extended amount of time in, all wrapped up into one convenient floor plan. Now from the rear door, you can get to your seating, you can get to all of your kitchen stuff, you can get to your fridge, you can get your cabinets packed up. So if you need to stop and grab a sandwich or something, you can. But from the front entry door, you can also get to the bedroom and the bathroom. And this is kind of why we carry all these different layouts and models here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. They all allow for a little bit different kind of use. The fully privatized bathroom of this one is what blocks it from having a normal walkthrough. The old 27 RLS J-Flight had a full walkthrough. But thankfully, with their second entry door, you can still access everything. You just kind of have to do it a little different way. So which one's the better floor plan? Well, I guess that's up to you. Thankfully, here at Haylett RV, we have such a wide selection. We have models that work both ways, whether it's J-Flight, Catalina, Grey Wolf, Wildwood. Somebody is going to build some version of a rear living room layout like this that'll have some little micro niche of preference that you're looking for, and we have them all in one spot. This one gives us that really big living room feel, but it does so with only one slide, and you've got a pair of pushback recliners there with plenty of room for like guest conversation spaces, or maybe you just like to have your own kind of separate seating. You prefer to lounge on a couch instead of chill in a recliner. This one kind of, it fits everybody. Plus, it has good guest entertaining and sleeping space. Part of what's making it feel all wide open in here is the 6'9" interior height. Now, things like a full Wildwood, a Catalina, they share that quality, but it's still only maybe about a 50-50 quality in the RV business, so I like to point that out where I can. One of the reasons I like it, and one of the reasons I tend to camp in a J-Flight personally, is because I'm tall, and I like to be able to stand in the shower if my life depended on it. It's not, I don't think ducking in the shower for 2 minutes that you're in there or whatever would be a deal breaker. I just like that in a J-Flight, I don't have to. Now, I'm going to point out some things that are optional as we go, like this skylight with that little shade that you can draw up here. Those are this is something that isn't standard, and I want you to understand that what we're looking at could be very different from what we have in stock. All Jaycos are very good, though, about having central air systems with ducts that can both close and turn. Now, we have one switch for all of our main cabin lights, which is cool, but you can still control them individually. And another option available is the 15,000 BTU air conditioner. That is a little more powerful than the 13.5 unit, and I don't think you're ever going to regret that extra cooling power. On top of that, we tend to outfit our full flights with their thermal package, which we'll talk a little bit more about outside. Now, in the back here, you've got a pair of, like I said, pushback recliners. These are totally free floating. So if you like that individual seating comfort, you want to kind of scoot and turn, or maybe you want to turn toward the sofa over here and have a little chat, you can. But before we go talking about that, one of the things I want to really zero in on is the fact that all of the windows here open for airflow. Those two recliner side windows open for airflow. The slide side windows open for airflow. I just simply have some of the shades drawn because the light is being not very friendly from the outside. And you can see that even when we look at it, you can kind of see the little center beams there, so you can get an idea of the airflow that you're going to get. Another thing here is the windows are tinted, which again, not everybody in this class is doing that. So the window tint plus those blackout shades means there ain't nobody seeing in this thing. Not no one, not no how, unless they're Superman and they got x-ray vision. If that's the case, you better be wearing that lead apron that you get at the dentist when they say, don't worry, these x-rays are harmless. Meanwhile, I'm going to go hide in a nuclear bomb shelter while we record this thing. But when you're not conversating about dentist visit nonsense, you do have a big trifold hide-a-bed option available to you here, the way that we like to build them at Haylett RV. There's different, you could leave a standard like bifold jackknife sofa in here, but this sofa, it looks better and it sits more comfortably during the day, even if you don't care about guest sleeping. Now you might have noticed, that's not light coming in through the slide, that's actually an accent light under the sofa right there, which during the day just looks really neat. And you'll see similar lighting under the countertop edge, but in the evening hours or the early morning, it's a neat little kind of navigation light. It's sort of like air traffic controller lighting. It gives you a good look at kind of where you're at in your RV, so you're not banging your shins and hips against everything. Now, as long as we're looking over here, I want to point out the fact that this table's fully free-floating. Makes it easier to kind of, you can sit at the table, shift the table back and forth. If you're bigger like me and have a smaller wife and kid, it's just kind of nice to cheat the table a bit. And they make easy access for the storage below that dining area right there. It should also be noted that you see that TV is on a double swing arm. You can pivot that TV around for easy viewing from any seat in the living room. There's really no bad seat in this house. And while all that's neat, typically I think this is probably how you're going to be looking at this RV, whether, you know, it's just you coming to look at it to see what they look like, or if you actually take one home. What is cool, though, is the free-floating nature of that table. Remember how I said this is a cool little conversation corner? Well, it can also be a neat little conversation coffee table corner over here. Move that table around, or maybe you're playing a little like board game, or you got the grandkids sprawled out on the floor and you want to be in a comfy chair. There's no one way you have to use this trailer. There's a lot of different ways that it can work for you. Now, I mentioned earlier, right about the time I was standing, pretty much where I'm at actually, that the trailer's a little bit taller. And one of the areas that kind of showcases itself is in those upper kitchen cabinets right there. Because that taller overall height means they can throw a shelf in these overhead cabinets and basically double your storage space. Now, J-Flights are and have been for a long, long while now pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry, which means it's not stapled particle board type cabinet stuff. And it's really not that that's even such a bad thing. It's just that that's not what this brand is. That's not why they have that best-in-class warranty. That's just not who Jayco and J-Flight are. They've got sealed edge counters here in the kitchen. I love that high-rise metallic sprayer faucet. And they were the first to transition to a sink cover and those roll-away drying racks, which have since become, you know, very popular. Plywood drawers down to the floor, and a space below the sink here for a wastebasket. So you don't have to go tying Walmart bags to your, you know, cabinetry. Now you can see your water heater there. Very easy access to your winterization bypass. Over here we have an 8 cubic foot gas electric fridge freezer. In this class you still find some 6 cubic foots. There's some 12 volt refrigerators out there. Now there's different fridges. They each have different benefits. We carry a lot of different RVs here at Haylett RV, and we give somebody a little bit of an option for a little bit of anything. But did you notice next to that fridge there's a 6'9" pantry? Often the case in rear living rooms, like with rear recliners like this one in one slide, a lot of times that pantry gets lost. This has a walk-around bathroom, not a walk-through bathroom. Both of those things extend the length of the RV a little bit, which means it's a little heavier, a little more expensive. But it means that we have more kitchen storage, we have more bathroom privacy. And as we pass through here, you know, even the entertainment center gets in on the storage a little bit. Jayco is still including, like a lot of brands are a Bluetooth stereo with an HDMI input. And this has that, but it is still DVD. So it does still give you that sort of like, if you're off-grid, you just want to watch a movie kind of thing, you're still bringing some discs around, you got it. The Elite package on your J-Flights gives us that porcelain foot flush stool, and notice we've got a big travel trailer shower, big radius shower, and an extra tall ceiling, not a common camper tub. And that little nightlight up there. And in the evening hours, it'll make like the whole room, all the light surfaces in this bathroom glow, so you can see what you're doing at night. Triple towel hangers on the right side here. These are of course, the drunken octopus, what you want to fight kind of variety here. But I love those things. They work and they look funny. And there's a good chunk of counter space around that sink, and that's a big sink. Adult hands can easily fit in that. And when you get out of the shower, or if you're using the toilet, you have plenty of legroom here. Also, it seems weird to people that the toilet paper holder is actually on the door, but when you close the bathroom door, it makes a lot of sense because it's actually right there. Now, a really important quality to zero in on here, in this class and category, almost everybody has a 74-inch Camp Queen. And some of them are true queen capable, some are not. Usually not even an option from the factory, just the kind of thing that you could do with your own money aftermarket. But Jayco doesn't make you do that. They standard from the factory have a 60 by 80 queen bed, so you don't have to like extend, lengthen, modify the bed base whatsoever. It is built that way right from the word go, so that you don't have to monkey with it. Now, since they're a little taller ceiling, those overhead cabinets are a little bigger, and they're up out of the way where they're not going to be quite the head knocker. And not only are they giving us a big window over here on the camp side, it does open for airflow. And you can see, obviously, both wide open side stands have some outlets, so that if it's, you know, CPAPs or phone chargers, you're good to go. That second door over here, some people don't like a door to the bedroom. Remember, it's here for fire code reasons. First of all, it's got to be here. Secondly, it does deadbolt, so you're not going to have a security issue. Now this comes with a big bedroom TV bracket. It does not come with a bedroom TV, but if you choose to add one, that same bracket has a handy little quick release where you could take it right outside, and you could have one TV used inside or outside. And with just one hand, The Legend of Zelda chimes, you can see that we've got a big old storage compartment here under the bed, which, I mean, you know, back in my mob hit days, you could hide 3-4 bodies under here. Now, if we climb down in that compartment, you see that it does actually pass all the way through, and both sides of the baggage compartment have the same extra large baggage doors like you saw right there. So that is something that allows you to put like bigger chairs, grills, griddles, whatever the case may be in there. Now, they leave that pass-through storage compartment open. Some people like that, some people don't. If you don't like it open under the bed, you could always just put a partition in there. If that's the only thing stopping you from taking this RV home, call us a Haylett RV. I'm sure we could work a partition into that thing. It's not real hard. It's not the kind of thing that also voids your warranty by doing it. You're not really changing anything structurally. These have 30-pound propane tanks, a pair of them with an auto changeover regulator, which is a quality not always found in this classic camper. A lot of brands have gone to 20s, and there's advantages both ways, but the fact is this gives us 50% more time between swap outs. All J-Flights ride on a custom engineered chassis. You can see how the tongue of this thing actually integrates right into the beams, and I love how they wrap that diamond plate stone guard down all the way in front of the front chassis there. They're really protecting that. What that's doing for us is this RV is taller inside, but it's not taller outside, and you're like, wait, what? And that's because it actually has a lower floor. It's a neat thing they do. So even though it's got a bigger interior, it doesn't sit extra high, which means you've got a lower center of towing gravity. But obviously you still have plenty of ground clearance. And then little things like this, just little extra J-Flight things. That little removable, adjustable height foot peg right there, it saves you a ton of cranking on that tongue jack. Just saves you a lot of time standing there pushing that power jack button, which isn't hard. It's just less time that you have to do it. Now, if I get down here and I look under this, you see an enclosed belly, and that's neat. But that is where most brands stop. Sometimes you get it enclosed, sometimes it's enclosed and heated. J-Flight's thermal package is enclosed, heated, insulated, and includes a radiant barrier. It's a 4-stage, not a 1 or 2-stage belly treatment. It is hands down the best-in-class like weather package available in a conventionally constructed wood stud travel trailer. And speaking of best-in-class, how about Goodyear Endurance radial tires rated for 87 miles per hour at only 80 psi. That is the only American-made tire used in the towable RV industry, and there is nobody else in this class using it. So that is yet another best-in-class quality, kind of like the not just plywood floor, but plywood roof deck as well. All of these things, these higher grade materials, these are reasons why this has that best-in-class warranty. It has the best assurances because it has effectively a little more guts behind it. Now, a neat little thing back here in this rear corner, didn't want to skip over that, but our little outside utility shower is back here. It's a really smart location for that, right next to your low point drains. All our water hookups kind of here. Plus, you could like rinse your feet off, then zip right around the trailer and get inside, like if you're in a sandy-ish kind of spot, you know. Now, if you look at our taillights, you see they got white elements in them, and that is because this thing has some pretty outstanding reverse travel lighting. So if you're backing up, whether you have a spotter or utilizing that backup camera prep for an observation or just slow motion, meaning slow moving rear view only backup camera, you're good to go. And those cameras are things we can assist you with here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We got a full service center, can do all that little stuff. But the 2-inch receiver hitch on the back is an optional piece of equipment. Kind of like these MORryde stable steps that are coming into view right now as we're talking. Those are non-standard pieces of equipment. They give you the ability to have a little more stable come and go, or you could add like a bike rack or like a little generator tray or something on the back of your RV without messing up your factory warranty. Because what good is the industry's best warranty in this class if you just void it? Obviously, it's not. Another neat thing, it's easy to miss. The main entry door here on J-Flights are wider. It's a 30-inch door for a little bit easier come and go below that easy tilt power awning and that extra large entry handle. Now, that TV bracket that we saw in the bedroom area there, it can obviously dismount, remount outside. So if you do just have like one extra screen, you could have one TV perform 2 different functions. commonly, not always, but I suppose commonly, if you do add a second screen to your RV, you probably don't need it in the bedroom when you're watching TV outside and vice versa. So it makes sense that you could do that. Now, something I didn't talk about around those tires, if I get back down here and look above them, you're going to see a galvanized steel wheel well. God forbid, I don't care how good the tire is. I don't care if you keep the best air pressure checker in the world, you know, in your family, if they're on top of it. You can still catch a screw on the road. There's still debris out there sometimes. And this is just there as a literal silver-colored lining to an otherwise rainy kind of day. This rides on Dexter axles, by the way, which is just a legendary thing. They just, I'm not going to say, I've only seen twice in 11 years a Dexter axle fail for any reason. And both times the company was all about getting it fixed and getting that customer back on the road. And it seems a little wacky. Why is our black tank flush over here? And the answer is because our bathroom is over here. So that is the most direct shot to the black tank down in there. I think we've pretty much crushed it from ground level. I don't think I've mentioned the fact that this has UV tinted windows, which keeps the temperature down and the nosy neighbors out. But I suppose I can no longer say that because I did just say it. Whatever, you get the idea. Not my best work. I'll work that out. And I like to take the opportunity up here on the roof to talk about some construction points. I mentioned on the ground level how we're walking on plywood, but we're also walking on a little heavier duty roof truss system, which is where Jayco's Magnum Truss roof system comes from, which is why they have 50% more load rating than anybody else on the roofing. You also can't see, when the construction is all completed, that above the slide out they have this 8-inch micro laminated header beam that extends like I don't know, 16 or 24 inches or something like that past the slide out opening. What that means in English is the roof line above the slide isn't going to sag from lack of structure over time, because if it starts to do that, it's no longer square and then it's no longer ceiling, so you won't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Little things like the hand-tucked, placed, glued insulation means that the conventional batten insulation in the sidewalls and in the nose, there's no gaps. They don't use leftover materials when they do that. Everything on a J-Flight is like a primary material, if that makes sense. They're not made with leftover stuff. And, you know, it's the little differences like that. They're a little heavier. J-Flights are a little heavier than some. They're a little more expensive than some. But like if you look through most of the industry, it's like most brands, they do 7 out of 10 things similarly. J-Flights do 9 out of 10 things that everybody else does. They do more things in the same size. But naturally that means they're a pound heavier, $1 more. That sort of thing just kind of happens. But it's probably not an accident why they're the best-selling series of travel trailers in the history of travel trailers. That's not an accident. You don't have that record since 2005 and counting by making a non-superior product, obviously. So if you appreciate what you see here, remember at Haylett RV, you can give us a call because we do it all with the exception of hidden dealer fees. We just don't do those. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.